Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. Starting the week, this time with the development update for January and possibly the year coming. So we know that something is coming for the trade system. However, these things will be deployed in several stages this year, since we're just at the beginning, don't expect much yet. However, the first thing that's going to come is a substantially improved API, which should hopefully make the life easier for both the servers and the current trade programs we use, so acquisition, poe.xyz and so on. So that's hopefully going to fix a couple of things. Also about the trade system, there's been a very interesting podcast, which is not the kind of official one, but it's WhatsApp Raycast. You can find that on Wabacho's channel. Maybe I'll link that in the description below, where ZiggyD and Morse will talk extendedly on the trading, and there's very interesting stuff in there, so I recommend you check that out. But GGG, as we know, has been expanding a lot the past year, so if everything goes well, they will be at 69 staff members within a couple of weeks, which is actually a lot, and this hopefully will signify more improvements, since GGG will have the resources to actually do those things. And for example, talking about improvements, GGG now has 2 full-time programmers working on client and server performances, and one of those is completely dedicated to the graphic engine. So we will hopefully see more improvements on the graphic departments. We've already seen a lot of those for the ground effects, for example. Another one was the change on the firestorm effects, so it's now actually usable and a lot of players actually use it. So, and last but not least, there is also a full-time developer set on doing the custom uniques, so the huge backlog that's still not being done hopefully will start to go smoother and smoother. So that's pretty good. And then we got 2 skills revealed at the same time. First one is Frost Bomb, and we can see in the video, you can see it's that small thing in there, as you can see this little thing here, which pulsates, and every pulse reduces the cold resistance and life regeneration of nearby monsters. Also, after a while, it explodes, as you can see there. So this is kind of a buff to, of course, cold skills, but I'm sure there are more interesting ways of using this. Also, if you've done the Winter Square, there is a boss, the one with the lightning spiders, which drops this kind of thing, and I'm pretty sure that's a lightning version. But yeah, you can still already preview this skill in that map. Next is the Orb of Storms. Let's check it out. Basically, you drop an orb here on the ground next to you, and as you can see here, it indicates the radius, and the orb will attack everything in the radius with bolts of lightning. Also, the things you attack, the orb will attack in addition to its normal attacks, so that's pretty good. And the orb has a long duration apparently, so it can be used especially for bosses. It might be not needed for packs. However, it's gonna be interesting to see if you can actually clear a pack just with the orb, or do it for something else, for example curse on it with this orb, and a lot of area might be actually pretty damn good. So there you go, 2 new skills which are going to come on the next expansion, of course. And speaking about the next expansion, we got 3 new ascendancy classes revealed. One is the Berserker for the Marauder, one is the Hierophant for the Templar, and one is the Pathfinder for the Ranger. There are videos and articles, however they're all on really bad sites. Some of those I couldn't even get the player to work, so here we go with a couple of images that someone compiled, thank God for that. Here we got the Berserker. Berserker, of course, comes from the Marauder. You can definitely see that from the image. And basically, all the points here rewards you for forgetting defenses and just going all out offenses. So, for example, most of the things work if you've killed in the past 4 seconds. So you need to keep killing, you need to be fast, clear fast. And like this point here is really strong. It gives you pretty much Val packed without downsides, increased damage, increased attack speed, however only if you got hit for at least 20% of your maximum life in the past 4 seconds. So that's exactly what the Berserker is all about, getting hit hard, countering even harder. This is going to be difficult, very difficult to play in hardcore, but it's definitely a fun class. It's definitely going to be exactly like a Berserker would play. Next we got the Templar, the Hierophant, not that easy to pronounce that, which, for those who don't know, is kind of a priest. So the name is not just made up, it's actually a real thing. And there's a lot of various things going on in this class. For example, the point over here gains 12% of maximum mana as extra maximum energy shield. So this might be actually really good for any low life build or anything that uses energy shield, especially with the new Skyforce boots. That's really a great combo there. Then there's like a chance to gain power charges on kill, and a chance to gain endurance charges when you gain a power charge. So you can actually gain power charges like with power charge on crit, and use that to gain endurance charges. So there's kind of some interesting things. However, the top 2 are the most interesting points. One allows you to summon 2 additional totems. However, you get 10% less totem damage for every active totem, so you can choose to spam your totems and reduce your damage, or keep just a few totems and keep your damage safe. The other really interesting point is the Illuminated Devotion, where skills from your helmet penetrates 20% elemental resistances, skills from your gloves have 20% increased area of effects, and skills from your boots leech 2% of damage as life. So this is definitely a weird one. You gotta work to make this work, but that's what makes Path of Exile interesting. It's not the straightforward things. So that was a weird class. And then we got the Pathfinder, which, seeing the recent Flask builds, this could actually be one of the strongest classes, or rather ascendancy classes in game, because it's all focused on Flasks. And we got some crazy nodes. For example, these nodes that, other than increasing elemental damage by a lot, dispels status ailments on Flask use. So you do not need an anti-freeze flask, an anti-shock flask, an anti-ignite flask. You will always have these. Also very interesting if you use the new Vinctar's flask, the lightning flask. With this point, does this mean you get to shock everything while being you yourself immune to the shock? That's really crazy if that is so, because yeah, there's really no need to explain that, I guess. Other really strong points here, for example, 15% increased move speed while using a flask, and also 20% attack speed while using a flask. Master Surgeon here basically gives the Surgeon affix to all of your flasks, so for a crit build this is absolutely crazy. And on top of that, it removes bleeding on flask use, so really strong point here. It's not a surprise that you cannot take both the Master Surgeon and the Master Alchemist, because that will be totally, absolutely broken. But still, there's also a point here for damage with poison, poison duration, always poison on hit while using a flask. So this can actually allow you to totally drop your poison gem and drop any other thing that makes you poison, and just go ahead and deal a ton of damage. So really strong class over here, in my opinion. And yeah, I can't wait to see what other classes are going to be, especially the Scion, which is definitely going to be different. I hope it's not just a mix of the other classes. That will be a bit underwhelming, I think. But yeah, the more they wait, the more the hype grows, and the easier it is to be disappointed. So let's just wait, do not speculate, and see what's going to come. But yeah, I guess that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.